Welcome to the next lecture of this unit on discrete transformations. So we'll cover here two concepts. One is discrete transformations, which is simple when compared to continuous transformations, and another one is sum of two random variables. So we'll consider these two for transformation now. Coming to discrete transformations. So discrete means you know all the values. So you have discrete instant of values. At x is equal to 0, you have p of x is equal to 0.2, and x is equal to 1, p of x is 0.15. So a table is actually given here, relation, and he is asking you to find out the density function of y for the transformation y is equal to 3x cube minus 3x square plus 2. So this is what is the relation between y and x. So because it is discrete, you can just substitute the values of x over here to calculate what is y. Then you can calculate p of y, because p of y itself is mass function. So let us start calculating y. Y is equal to 3x cube. So anyway it is 0, 3x cube and 3x square, only 2 will be left off. Similarly 1, 3x cube plus 3x square. So you can see the function if you have any confusion. 3x cube, it is 1. So 3 minus 3 plus 2. So that will also give you plus 2. And when you substitute 2, you will have 3x cube minus 3x square. So 2 cube and then 2 square. So like that you will calculate all the values. So 2 to 14, 56 and 146. So once you calculate y, then go and calculate probability of y. So how will you calculate probability of y? Based on the probability, if you see here, we have to write y only one time, because y is an instant which is 2. 2 is repeated 2 times. So at 2, what is its probability? 0.2 and also 0.15. So when you do the summation of these two, then you will get p of y. So p of y at instant 2 is p of, that means it is p of y is equal to, you are calculating p of y is equal to 2 is nothing but p of x is equal to 0 plus p of x is equal to 1. So 0.2 plus 115, you will get 0.35. Similarly, what is p of y is equal to 14? You have only one instant, it is simply 0.3, again 0.15 and then 0.2. So like that you have to calculate probability of y. And density function, he is asking you to calculate the density function. So what we will do is, you will just use an impulse function, because discrete, you know that discrete probability mass function, you will have all the impulses with its amplitude. So amplitude is actually given by p of y, 0.35 into del of y minus 2 and 0.3 into delta of y minus 14, 0.15 into delta of y minus 56 plus 0.2 delta of y minus 146. So this is how we calculate the density function. And this is only an example of discrete transformation. So like that it is because simple substitution and writing the density function in terms of delta, which will complete the discrete transformation. So with this we complete both monotonic, non-monotonic and discrete transformations. So next we will switch on to sum of two random variables instead of one random variable. So if you have a function, so normally y is equal to x square or y is equal to x, y is equal to e power x. So you have only one random variable when you write. But here if I have two random variables, so how will you do that? So read out the question, all of you. Given two random variables x and y and a function g of x comma y, we form a new random variable z as z is equal to g of x comma y. See, when you actually, this function is called as joint function because you have two random variables. That's why, see, you can see given the joint PDF density function fxy of x comma y. So this is actually joint density function. How does one obtain fz of z? So you want fz of z now in terms of. So actually why do we do this is, for example, a receiver output signal usually consists of a signal plus noise. So signal plus noise, this is actually the model of a system of a receiver. So how will you do that? So this is also substitution, but when we go for any receiver design, so always we use such a model. See here there are many types of applications, z plus y or z minus y, xy, x by y, all. So we'll just see one simple example and all of them will follow the same type of process. So coming to z is equal to x plus y. So you have to calculate fz of z. So how will you do that first? Always the convention is first write its distribution. Fz of z is z less than or equal to small z. What is z? It is g of xy. So he wrote already z is equal to g of x comma y. So it is nothing but g of x comma y less than or equal to small z. So fx, so instead of one random variable, you have two random variables now. So this is not one integration, but it results in two double integrations. Why? Because you have two random variable. First of all, do the integration with respect to x, then that is using dx. Similarly, next time you will do the integration with respect to y. So that is how we calculate. So let us go to the graphical part of it. So for z is equal to x plus y, first of all write down the equation. Z is equal to x plus y, represented graphically. X, if I take x comma 0 and 0 comma y, let us assume that this as z. So z is equal to x plus y. And when you do the integration and when you want to represent in terms of x, then x you want to represent in terms of y, then you will substitute x is equal to z minus y. Or if you are doing with respect to x, then you will substitute what is y. Y is equal to z minus x. So like that we will do it. So when calculating the density function, this is a small part. So x is equal to z minus y is just a small part. But this strip, if you traverse it towards the end and if you add everything, the shaded area portion, you will get, because you want less than or equal to small z, means all this is the region over which you want to calculate its density function. So coming to the fz of z now. So if you see in the previous case, it is just double integral. So now substitute what is fxy of x comma y. So it is nothing but dou by dou z of integration of, you are writing in terms of x. So fxy of x comma y dx. So you want to do the differentiation, integration with respect to x. So that's why we have substituted the value of x is equal to z minus y. So minus infinity to z minus y. So and you have a differentiation term here because you are writing in terms of fz of z. Capital Fz of z is nothing but double integral, whereas when you write the differentiation, you get density function fz of z. So you get a differentiation function with respect to z. So what happens here, the integral and the differentiation gets cancelled out and you are left with minus infinity to infinity fxy of, but substitute what is x here, x is equal to z minus y comma y dy. Okay, so this is what we have done. The other way around is, if you substitute in terms of y, so then it is z minus x. So the same convention, you get fxy of x comma z minus x dx. So both represent the same. Okay, but if x and y are independent, then you can simply split fxy of x comma y is equal to fx of x into fy of y. So that if you substitute that, you will either get fx of z minus y into fy of y or fx of x into fy of z minus x dx. So if you see this, you should remember the actual convention of representing two functions, minus infinity to infinity, fx of I can write it as, actually I can represent it as fx of for a signal, for a time domain signal, can I write it as x of t minus tau y of tau d tau. So it is looking like the conventional convolution of two random variables. So this results in convolution of two random variables. So when you consider two random variables summation as z, and if you calculate its density function, it is nothing but, so summation results to convolution of the density functions. So this is very, very important terminology. Using this, you can solve all the remaining functions like how we have seen, that is x minus y, x by y, square root of x square plus y square. So all these functions can be realized in the same way.